Lesson 1.1.4, Constructing Your Essay, How to Organize Evidence and Analysis in Support of the Thesis. Now that we've discussed how to use questioning and evidence to develop your thesis, let's take a few moments and discuss how to organize your essay. An essay is not a simple list of facts. Remember to include the information in the yellow boxes with the red outlines in your notes. So as you see those boxes, you'll write those down in your notes. An essay is not a summary. An essay is an argument. As you write this paper, you're presenting an argument. And an essay is centered on your thesis. We can compare writing an essay to making a sandwich. Okay. The evidence you present will be held together with a well-written introduction and an engaging conclusion. So you start with your bun, the introduction. The toppings and the meat that's found in the sandwich are your evidence and commentary, and we use a variety of different pieces of evidence. We've got our lettuce and tomato and cheese and meat. So your evidence and commentary is in the middle, and your conclusion is the bottom bun. Okay. So you begin by introducing your thesis. You use the body of your essay to present your evidence and analysis, and you close your essay with a summary of how you supported your thesis and why it's significant. Let's take a closer look at the introduction. First thing you want to do is catch my attention. Start with an engaging fact or an example. Establish the theme of your paper. In our last lesson, we talked about using the atomic bomb. We developed a thesis around the use of the atomic bomb. So if I were to write the introduction on that topic, I might start like this. On August 6th, 1945, the American bomber Enola Gay dropped a 5-ton bomb over the Japanese city of Hiroshima. A blast equivalent to the power of 15,000 tons of TNT reduced 4 square miles of the city to ruins and immediately killed 80,000 people. Catch my attention. Death and destruction. Okay? Makes you want to read on. After you've caught my attention, you're going to establish your question. When and where are we? What are we looking at? Be as specific as possible, as quickly as possible. Why do we care about this topic? Why is the question important? We continue our introduction perhaps with a few questions like this. Immediately killed 80,000 people. Were such measures justified? Why did the American government use such a devastating weapon? Okay. So I've established the question. Now we're going to define any terms that are going to be found in our thesis. So define your terms. What are the key concepts or terms associated with your question? Make sure your audience knows what you're talking about. I continue with the introduction. Theodore Roosevelt, the American president at the turn of the 19th century, is often quoted as saying, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." This statement implies that certain tools or weapons can be used to influence others. Deterrence is defined as the use of threat in order to control the actions of someone else. So my argument is based on the deterrence that was established by using the bomb. I've taken a moment and I've defined it. Now, hit me with your thesis. State your thesis clearly and powerfully. Your reader should recognize this as the heart of your argument. Make sure that any important terms found in the thesis have been addressed and defined leading up to it. So we continue with our introduction. Although it is arguable that the atomic bomb may have avoided many casualties, this bomb was used in order to deter the ambitions of the Russians. There it is. There's my thesis. That main term, deterrence, was addressed and defined. And now we'll finish the introduction with a subtle roadmap of where our essay will go from here. Let's make a short statement addressing how you'll present the evidence that supports your thesis. So we continue our introduction. At the end of the war, Russia had ambitions to expand and control territory. American strategists used the bomb to check the advance of communist Russia. So your introduction will meet each of these 5 objectives in one well-written paragraph. On to the body. Your body is built with paragraphs, the body of your paper. It should consist of at least 3 paragraphs presenting evidence and 1 paragraph that acknowledges other viewpoints. Okay? Your introduction provided the direction for your argument, and now each little paragraph in your paper might also be thought of as a sandwich. The meat and toppings, or the evidence and commentary, are held together with the bread, a strong topic sentence, and a good transitional sentence. So you'll start there with your strong topic sentence. You introduce the specific piece of evidence that's related to your thesis, and that sentence becomes kind of a mini thesis for the paragraph. Then you present your evidence clearly, and then immediately explain why that evidence supports your thesis. Tie it to your thesis. And then finish your paragraph with a good transitional sentence, leading to the next piece of evidence. So as you present evidence that supports your argument, you use the body of the essay to explain how this evidence ties to your thesis. You'll also want to use at least 1 paragraph to present evidence that goes against your argument and explain why that evidence should be interpreted in a way that supports your argument. Okay? So paragraphs should follow each other in a logical progression, each paragraph making 1 major point, and you should analyze your evidence as soon as you present it. You'll finish your essay with the conclusion. Use a strong paragraph to summarize how you supported your thesis. You'll do more than just restate your argument. You also want to suggest why your argument is important, how it relates to today, and how it may have affected the events that came after this time period. So why should we care? Okay. Those are the 3 parts of your essay: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Let's take a moment and let's just summarize this outline. You start with your introduction, you state your thesis and your plan of attack. Make sure you define any important terms. And you move into the body with your supporting paragraphs, at least 3 paragraphs. You start each one with a topic sentence, state your evidence, analyze how the evidence supports the thesis, use a clincher statement, and then use a transition to a new piece of evidence. You should also acknowledge another view, use a topic sentence to state that other point of view, present the evidence that supports that view, and then explain why your view is better. Complete your essay with a conclusion, summarize how you supported your position, and explain why it matters. Okay. Now, as you present your evidence, you're going to need to cite your sources. Use the note format, footnotes and endnotes, and elaborate. Use those footnotes and endnotes to elaborate on a specific source or to address arguments of other historians. Okay? Each time you quote a work by another author or reference the ideas of another author, indicate that source with a citation. Any quotes, paraphrases, arguments, or references, they should all be cited. When in doubt, cite it. Your essay will end with a bibliography. You'll start this on a brand new page, and you'll include all the works you consulted, not merely those that you cited in your paper. Okay? We'll finish this lesson by taking a look at how your essay will be graded. There's 6 parts that go into a well-written essay. First, we look at the thesis. It should be identifiable, plausible, insightful, and the terms and ideas presented should be made clear in that introduction paragraph. The structure of your essay should flow from the thesis. You should have excellent transitions from one point to another. Your paragraph should support solid topic sentences. Your use of evidence should link to the thesis. Your examples fit in the paragraph and are highlighted by good topic sentences. Quotations are integrated well into the flow of your essay. Your analysis should tie all evidence back to the thesis. It should be fresh and it should be clear. Logic and argument. Your ideas in the paper flow. The argument is identified, it's reasonable, it's sound. Your counter-arguments are addressed and they're carefully deconstructed. Connections are made to outside material. And finally, the mechanics of your essay. Your sentence structure, your grammar, the voice of your writing should be excellent. You should use punctuation and citation correctly. And there are minimum spelling errors, no run-on sentences. Okay, that kind of completes our lesson. Good luck. And feel free to reference this video and your notes on this video as you complete your essays for this class.